Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to Power Platform and AI User Group. My name is Clavin. I'm the host out here, and we are here to present you with two exciting sessions. Session one will be done by Sunil Kumar. He is going to unlock the power of AI prompting. The session two, I will do it. We'll take the Power Apps component framework skills to the next level with advanced virtual code components, and we'll also use an SDK. Before we get into the actual sessions, I want to give a huge shout out to Nutrient for sponsoring this event. So if you are new to Nutrient, I would like to quickly show you the website. So Nutrient goes ahead and provides you tools and building blocks that helps you accelerate digital transformation. I think that I got the website minimized, but here it's back. We go ahead and provide you building blocks that can accelerate digital transformation. We provide you with an SDK. We provide you with low-code tools. Low-code tools that integrate with Microsoft 365 and SharePoint. We have lots of products. But the main products that you can think about is the document converter, which helps you convert documents and do much more. The editor, it's a viewer in SharePoint. You don't need to download your files to edit your files, in fact, your PDF files, and re-upload it. You can do it right in your browser using the editor. Searchability. If you are struggling with search and if you have scanned documents or image-based PDFs, this is the tool that you need. It can also help you get the audit reports. And finally, if you're working with millions of documents, document automation server is for you. You can convert documents at any scale, archive them, merge them, manipulate them, add stamps, and do much more using the document automation server. As for integrations, we provide integrations with SharePoint, Power Automate, Nintex, OneDrive, Teams, and the Windows Server. Before going ahead, I want to give a shout for the workflow platform out here. I'll not call it a tool, it's a platform by itself. If you think that Power Platform falls short of something, the workflow platform is for you. Okay, the workflow platform is for you. It can help you create forms. It can help you build workflows. It can help you with reports and much more. So if you're trying to find a tool that does almost everything, then, and it's a no-code tool, okay, then the workflow platform is the one that you should look at. That being said, our site is ppug.org. I'll again go to the website. This is our website. We'll have Sunil's picture coming up here real soon after this event. But here, if you see, if you are interested in speaking, just go and fill up this particular form, submit a talk, and we will go ahead and give you the platform. That being said, I'm going to hand it over to Sunil so that he can start presenting. Sunil, over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Clevin, and I'm excited for this. Just trying to figure out to share the screen, and then I will go ahead. Just a moment. I'm sharing my screen here. Let me know once it is visible. Okay, so first of all, thank you so much again, Clevin, for having me on this podcast. I have spoken about this topic earlier as well on other forums, and thank you so much for giving me this platform as well. This is uh, this is about AI prompts to be specific, and AI prompts is part of AI Hub within Power Platform. Before that, who am I? I am Sunil Kumar, also known as Power Trainer. What I do, I am a technical lead and a solution architect which works on different solutions. Along with that, I have a couple of other certain responsibilities as managing a team, a sound team, technical team, and working on to the Power Platform governance, administration, and even the licensing. Yeah, I know licensing is a bit of uh, a sad, a sour thing, but yes, I do take care of that as well for all the solutions which I work with the different organizations. Now, coming back to the AI prompts, as I mentioned, it is part of AI Hub. Now, within AI Hub, we have AI Builder and AI prompts. So AI Builder takes care of all the use cases from document reading, from the card readers and all those things. Apart from this, AI prompt is sort of a middleware which helps you taking the data or the text as the input and then giving you the output based on the prompt which we have created. Now these prompts could be giving you a couple of examples like checking the grammar, correction of the spelling, or maybe giving a response back to the input text. So these are the prompts which are covered within AI prompts. Now, taking a deep dive within AI prompts, we'll go through some of the basics and then we will move towards the demo, which includes the demo with Power Apps and then the demo with Power Automate as well. The beauty of Power AI prompt is that it can be utilized with Power Apps, Power Automate, and Copilot Studio as well, which I'll be talking about in a little bit more, a couple of slides away. Now, coming back to the basic, what is AI prompt? So AI prompt is a combination of instruction and a context. Let me give you an example for this. I always give this example because it is very relevant to our current work as well regarding Power Platform. Now, we are very much well aware of a word called delegation, right? Now, in general English term, delegation means giving a task or assigning the task to another person. This is what the general English dictionary language says. But now, when it comes to Power Platform, delegation is handing over the process to the data source itself. Now, let's take an example saying that I want to understand. This is the particular text which I'm going to send to the AI prompt saying that I want to understand what is delegation. Now, the expected output out of this would be that delegation is handing over the task to another person. Now, why is the output like this? Because I haven't defined the context of my prompt or of my query here. Now, when the query gets transformed in a way saying that I want to understand delegation with respect to Power Apps, at this time, we are giving a combination. A combination, the first part of the text is the instruction that I want to understand about delegation. The second part of the prompt or the text is and the context which we are providing here. And the context here is that I want to understand about delegation with respect to Power Apps. Now, as soon as we give this as the input text, automatically we will be able to get the expected output as well. Right. So coming to the basics of prompt, prompt is basically uh, an art of creating a query, a text which has two major parts. One is the instruction and the second one is the context of it. Now, coming to the Microsoft Power Platform AI prompts, Microsoft has already released a couple of AI prompts to the tenant. Now, these AI prompts are which can help us in classifying the text. Classifying the text, we will also see the examples of these as well in the demo. Classification of the text, sentiment analysis, rewriting the content, summarizing the information, extracting some certain information from the paragraph or from the text, and then even drafting the response based on the query asked. Right? Now, where can I find AI prompt? AI prompt we can find in AI Hub. But how do we go to AI Hub? We come here, we click on more. So this is the make.powerapps edit powerapps.com screen. very simple URL, right? As soon as we log in into that, the only condition is we should be having a well defined login created for us, login account created for us. As soon as we click on more, we will be able to see discover all. When we click on discover all, at at the end we will see AI. Within AI we have AI models and AI prompts, and in on the top also within AI builder you will see AI hub, right? So it will also land us in the same. So there are, like, Microsoft is known for giving or providing multiple ways to land into certain screens, right? So that's the same thing. Now if I click on see more prompts, I will be able to see all the prompts which are there. So these are the prompts which are already created, like AI classify, AI sentiment for sentiment analysis, AI reply for getting a response based on the input text. And in the similar way, there are two AI prompts which are created from my side. These are the manual ones which I have created, custom prompts which are called. Taking a quick look at the one which I have created, is the name goes with saying that check the grammar and spelling mistakes, spellings, and correct it. Now, this is the easiest or the simplest way how we can create a prompt. So what I'm defining here in the natural language is, please check and correct grammar and spelling of the input text. So this input text can be a variable in this particular case, because this has to come either from Power Apps or from Power Automate or from Copilot Studio chatbots. Right? Once this is created, we can always have it tested also. Once we add a text here, we click on test prompt, it will give us the result. It's like that, right? So sample data, if I put it here, let's say, how are you, and I click on test the prompt. So if you see here, the spelling which I have written here is not correct, right? And it understood the very not correct way which I have used here to write my sentence, and it gave me the correct response out of this. Now, there are other texts also which have come part of it, but I can always go to this particular uh, tag, and we can use this one in my next set of outputs, where from where I can define the next processes. So now this is how it can be created. I'll quickly click on cancel. The most important thing which I have to keep in mind is, all these prompts which are which are created by Microsoft and provided to us, will be available throughout different environments also. So now right now I'm in this environment, but it will be available on this environment also, because it is published by Microsoft. The only thing is that when I create any of the custom prompt, these will not be available on other environments unless I move those or I migrate those to the other environments. So always make sure that wherever you have created the custom prompt from your side, make sure your Power Apps, Power Automate, or other components are in the similar environment. So this is the first and foremost thing which we need to take care of. Going back to the other basics of Copilot of AI prompt, as I mentioned, prompt engineering is an art of crafting an effective prompt to guide the AI behavior, which includes the instruction and context. Where I can use prompts, I can use it on Power Apps using Power FX, on Power Automate using AI Builder Actions, and even in Copilot Studio using plugins, and even with Power Automate. When we talk about which model does it use, so it helps us to use the latest model which is available, okay, in the Azure OpenAI service. And along with that, whichever input text as a prompt you publish or you push it to the AI, it will not be available to other customers. It will not even be available to OpenAI. It will not help improving the OpenAI models as well. It will not be stored anywhere within Microsoft ecosystem as well. And on top of it, it will not be aligned towards improving the Azure OpenAI models. So whatever stays with whatever the prompts organization has put in, it stays with the organization from the security standpoint. Couple of things which we need to keep in mind is, any of the AI prompt, rather I would say any of the AI functionality within AI Hub consume AI service credits. So this is the common currency across Microsoft ecosystem, which gets utilized based on the number of runs which we have done, to which utilizes the AI prompts as well as the AI Hub capabilities. Okay, so this is the common currency. This common currency can be acquired or can be procured as a package from Microsoft licensing, or additionally it also comes as part of the premium licenses like Power Apps premium license, Power Automate premium licenses as well. Right? Now, talking about the other thing which you need to keep in mind is these prompts are shareable. What does this mean? This means that any of the prompt which is created from my side, I can share it with other users as well. The only thing is that they will not be able to edit the prompt. They will be very well able to use it. They will be able to consume it in their applications, but they won't be able to edit or modify the natural language which I have written down to while creating the AI prompt. Third most important thing is these prompts which are created are solution aware. So any of the prompt which is created can be added as part of a solution, and then this particular solution can be moved or migrated from one environment to another environment manually or using any of the ALM practices, be it Power Platform pipelines or Azure DevOps. Right? Now, before moving ahead, I just want to give a quick brief introduction to solution as well. Power Platform solution is a logical package of all the components which are independent of any other solution. Okay, so this is what actually the solution means. As we know, it consumes or it utilizes the Azure OpenAI models, even the latest models, and the data which we are putting in the prompts is always going to be in the organization itself. Now, coming to the couple of do's and don'ts. So when we say there is always the best practice to use any of the tool, the product, the solution which is created. So as part of that, there are defined do's and don'ts. It's always suggested, recommended to be as close to those do's and be as far as away from those don'ts. Okay. So now the first one is be clear and specific. What actually does this mean is what we want as an output, right? First time, in most of the cases, we always know that what we need as an output, right? There are some cases when we actually don't know what we need as an output, but that's okay. Let's keep giving the prompt or giving the instruction, explain the data, explain the context, and even the output formats, and it will help us reach near to the expected output, even if it's not in the first shot. If we keep doing that couple of times, we'll be able to reach to the expected output, right? What does this mean in plain English, simple English? It means that whatever the output we need, we have to keep working along with AI to give the respective instruction and context which can help near or reduce the gap between the expected output. Human oversight is the second point, which is always required. And in any of the AI generated text or the image or the content, I would say, this is always declared that this is an AI generated content. Please verify this. Right? So it comes from this point of view itself that human oversight is always required. The simple reason behind that is that the models are trained on a certain data. Right? That data could go outdated maybe after a year. Right? So that is the reason that human oversight is required to understand the legitimacy of the response, to understand the authenticity of the response. Giving examples, the third point. Always give examples to give a better context to the instruction which you are giving, or based on which AI will be able to understand or will be able to pick a right direction from where it has to get from where it has to go and pick the relevant answer for you. For example, uh, let's say I want to get the capital of UAE, right? And I'm not able to understand like what I'm not able to get the term capital, or I don't understand that, right? What do we call this? Sometimes we miss the words as well, right? So there can be another example to get this as what is Delhi to India? I want X to UAE, right? So it will understand that okay, you are looking for a capital of UAE. So this is like giving an example. There could be multiple examples too. So it always depends on the query what you have, and based on that, if you want to give some examples, please feel free to give that. I'll also give you one of the interesting prompt which I did last month, and it helped me a lot. I will talk about that as well. Defining the output format. So now what happens is, let's say there is a big paragraph which we want to summarize, okay, for as an example, and this particular summarization I want in a lesser than, let's say, 100 words, and even these 100 words should be in the bulleted points. As soon as I give the paragraph to get it summarized, along with that I can pass some more instructions like please take care of the format of the response. The format of the response should be the summarization of the paragraph should be less than 100 words, and then it should be in the bulleted points. And in 99% of the cases I have observed that it respects the context, the instruction as well, and will provide you the output in that way. Test and iterate. So we always need to keep testing the prompts which we have already created, even though if those are in published way, always testing is required. It's like any of the software which we create, any of the solution which we create. That's the general practice which we do is testing it, right? To understand that it's a computer program, right? So the output is always dependent on input, right? It cannot be that if it always takes a same route, it will always this particular solution or a software is going to take the same route always without any exceptions, right? All of a sudden it will not give you the output based on some other logic, right? So that is what it is trying to this point is trying to say. Checking for the accuracy. This again comes back to the same point as human oversight, that the accuracy will always be, it is better to be checked by the human oversight itself. Right? Transparency. We always have to create that transparency with the end user of the solution which we are creating, which has the AI prompt or AI hub as part of component as part of the solution, that these are AI generated content, right? So always, and we'll have the biases also, because because of the trained the data on which these are trained, right? So we have to have this transparency with the end user that it's not going to do magic for you. Like, it does magic, but it will not be able to do something out of the world. And definitely that transparency should be aligned in both the parties, basically in between the parties. So adhere to the terms of use. So now with any of the product solution tool which have been built, there is always a certain terms of uses are there, right? And again, with this particular technology tool as well, there are the terms of use which are there, always maintaining the code of conduct, always maintaining the language, the the let's not we should not be asking for uh, some some information which is not socially acceptable as well in those ways. Incorporating feedbacks, right? So let's say if we have started started inputting the text and we are not able to get the right output, always give the feedback to it that no, this is where you are wrong. Can you please recheck? Right? This document says in that this license is not the proper one, and you are suggesting this license. Could you please share why you are suggesting this, or which other license would be right in this approach? So always try and give that feedback. It's kind of a communication which we have to keep rather than just a text and then the output. If we keep it as a communication, engaging communication, it will help us in getting to the right output or the expected output, I would say. There's nothing wrong and right in that. LLM drift. So it's one of the nice concept available out there in the AI world, which is LLM drift. So what happens is every second there is a lot of information getting added to the internet. Okay. So what happens is over a period of time, the prompt which we have written, it might start giving us the output which is very different from the output which was 1 year ago with the same prompt, right? So why this happens? Because on the incoming data onto the internet is like huge, it's humongous, right? To keep the expected output always aligned to what we need, we always have to keep updating the prompt. How do we update the prompt? By giving more context, by giving more examples, by giving output format if required to be, giving more feedbacks. So these are different ways how we can keep the prompt updated even if the data in the backend is getting added on exponential basis. Okay. Now, what are don'ts? Exactly opposite of what do's are. Don't be vague. Always give a particular direction to the AI to help you solve the problem, to help you have the expected output. How we can do that is running run not to run in different directions to find the answer. Give a particular path, give a proper channel. For example, please find me an answer from this particular documentation, or these are the set of documentation from where I need this answer. This is one way. Not to request any inappropriate and unethical content, right? Not to use the slangs, jargons, and informal language. Why this is being emphasized here is because there is a policy which is a philosophical policy which says that what goes around that comes around, right? What does this mean is that if we are going to use the slangs, jargons, and the informal language, most probably the response will not be informal, but at times it could be informal as well. It could pick up the language which has been used and try and imitate that, reciprocate in the same manner, same language to give back the response, right? It's coming from that perspective that then we should not be using the slangs, jargons, and informal language. It will only uh, give us the pain of writing another text or another prompt to make the AI understand what we actually need as an output. So it's not gonna be helpful to us eventually. Right? Giving the conflicting instructions. This is the same thing as being not being vague, overcomplicating it. Right? Simple things we can explain it in a simple way. Right? How it can be explained in a simple way is if we are understanding it in the simple way. That's the only way, right? So that is the only way how it can be done. Assuming prior knowledge. Now, this might sound like contrary to AI prompt the capabilities, which at one side it says that it has a lot of information, and on the other hand we are saying that don't assume that it has prior knowledge. No, it is actually saying that there is a data source available. It does not understand the prior context. So The context is the main keyword here, that assuming the prior context. So AI does not understand the context which you have unless you provide it. There is a lot of information. If you ask for delegation, it will give you delegation from all other way also, right? From the English general dictionary language, from the Power Platform also, or from any other tool or software, or the general English term where it is being used. It might give you the list of all the delegations or where all it has been used, right? But because it does not have the context. So that is what it means. It means that do not assume that AI has that prior context, not the knowledge, I would say. Right? Now, coming to the availability, right, of this particular feature. Now, wherever you see the star, these particular features are available. The only thing is that there has to be the enablement done for the data movement of cross region. Right? This is the only thing which has to be done, because not all the data center of Microsoft has all the capabilities in those data centers. So like if you see here, Australia has it, right? India has this. India data center has this. It does not have to cross the Indian region to get these particular AI capabilities used. Along with that, UK has it, US has it. Unfortunately, UAE does not have it now, but the nearest the data center is being approached for this, and we have to enable the data movement across region to utilize this. So these were the couple of information which I wanted to share alongside on the basics of AI prompting. Now we are going to quickly go ahead and see the demo of AI prompts. How does it work, right? So now, very simple example which I have thought through and came up with. I have input text on one side and the result on other side, and in between I have different functions or different buttons which runs the different AI prompts in the backend. Okay, let's take an example first, see it in running, and then I will show you how it has been created always. Also, how does the skeleton of this looks like in the edit mode. Okay, so I'm taking an example saying that I have a new car now. Okay, so this is just a statement which I am trying to understand the sentiment. So when we talk about the sentiment, any particular sentence can have one of these three sentiments. Either it could be positive, or it could be neutral, or it could be negative, right? Like definitely there is a different percentage to it, but we can always have that sentiment analysis done. So this particular simple AI prompt, which is the prompt pre-built prompt which is created by Microsoft, helps us in doing that. Now, if I click on AI sentiment, what it does is this sends this data to the AI prompt, gets back the result, and show the result here. Right now, let's say I have a car now, but it's not good. Okay, just taking the same example, added a little bit more text to it, and understanding how the sentiment is. So the overall sentiment of the statement comes as negative, right? But it's not good. What should I do? I'm just trying to add a little bit more text to this. Should I do this? I have prepared for my next prompt, AI reply. Okay. So now let's try and see what it says. I'm sorry to hear you are not satisfied with your new car. So this is all being created and as a result given back to me. Right. So if you see, there are multiple ways, multiple things which they have shared. Identify the issue, consult the dealership, check warranty, seek professional advice. Right. Now let's say I have another example saying that I love the Canva software. Okay, okay, not software. I'll just not write software. Why? Because behind the AI classify prompt, I have given three categories: software, hardware, and network. Okay. Now I want to understand that does the AI understand that I'm talking about Canva and it belongs to a software category because it is a SaaS product. Let's see if it understands or not. So it has given me that, okay, there is something in this text, input text, which is talking about a software. Now let's say I want to say something around Dell. Okay, so Dell is the hardware. They create laptops. So this is it all categorized it into this text into a hardware. Now I will also share some of the applications of these prompts as well with you. Right now, I'm taking the same example. I've asked my AI extract to help me extract the names from the text. Okay, so if I click on AI extract, it will help me in understand or getting the value, the name value from this particular text. This is a JSON which it has provided. I can always drill down to the particular value of the JSON and utilize it in my next set of processes. Now, taking an example of the summarization, I'll go to. I'll just take one text from here. Okay. And put it here. Along with this, I'm going to give some instructions as well. Okay. That summarize this in 3 sentences and in bullet points. Okay, so this is the instruction which I have given here. I'm clicking on AI summarize. Let's see. So it has done it in 3 sentences. It has also given me in bullets. So this is how we can provide some instructions as well to our prompts, okay, to our input text. Now, this example we already saw, right? How are you? Now, let's say I want to add something saying, let's take this only. Let's take this as the input now. I'll change some of the spellings. Okay, so I have changed some of the spellings and then I'm running the grammar check. Let's see. So the first one is here, which it has corrected. The second one is here, which is corrected here. The third one is this one, and this one is also corrected. The third sentence, which has essential spelling wrong, which has corrected this also. Along with that, it has given me the corrections which it has made. How cool is that, right? So how did we do this? Let's talk about that now. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my edit mode of the application, the Power Apps application. I will talk about a couple of things here. The data source which I have added are all the prompts from here, AI sentiment, AI builder, and how I have used it is in the next slide. I will show you quickly. If I click on AI sentiment, you will be able to see that this is my input text, right? This is my input text, and where the input text will go, and this is the output text, which is my label. Along with that, the input, the actual text property is the var result. The var result comes from these prompts. So if the first line is the designing fluff, ignore that one. Let's focus on the second one. So I'm using the AI sentiment to predict the giving the input, and the final property, output property, is the text which I'm saving in the var result and giving the result here. In the similar way, I'm doing it for AI reply as well. Now, quickly, how did, so this is the same thing which I have done for the Power Automate as well. The only difference here is, rather than running it within the Power Apps, what I have done is I have created the Power Automate. So I'll quickly go to the Power Automate one and show you the background of that, how I have worked on that. 1 second. So if I click on AI sentiment, you will be able to see that I am running a AI prompts Power Automate, and you giving the two inputs to it, or two parameters. One is the AI sentiment and the input text. And then I'm finally capturing the output text and storing it in var result, which shows here. The flow which I have used here is the AI prompts Power Automate, and this is the same flow which I have created here and utilized. Now, if I quickly click on the switch cases, so you will be able to see there are multiple switch cases which I have created here, right? So as an input of this Power Automate, I am getting the which button is clicked and what is the input text. Based on this, after this, I have created a final result variable. This particular button switch criteria is to understand which button is clicked. Based on which button is clicked, it is routing to the specific case. Within this case, if you see, I have two actions. One is create text with GPT. Within here, I am using the AI sentiment prompt. I do have other prompts as well, which I am using, and giving the input text to it. The output of this I am storing in the variable, the first variable which I have created, and this is the variable which I am passing to the responding back to the Power Apps with. So this is how easy it is in doing it. In the similar way, it can be done for Copilot Studio as well. Going back to the Power Platform, and here I wrap up the session for AI prompts. I hope this is helpful. Any queries, feel free to reach, and I'll be more than happy to answer it for you. Thank you so much. Handing it over back to Clevin.
Hey, hi. Thank you, Sunil. An excellent session. Lots that I have learned as well. And yeah, thank you for presenting. If anybody has question, do reach out to Sunil directly over LinkedIn, and he will share his social handles with you. So thank
Yes.
you again. And yeah, I hope that we'll host you again in the near future.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Perfect, perfect. So what I'll do is that I'll start with my session. I know that we have been, I think Sunil did fine. He did it on time. So I will just go ahead and start with my session and let's go.